Dude, actually, you know what's gonna be crazy with this is being able to use this for Fireclaw. Shalom! We're back to doing BAZAAR content. I know I've been on my short hiatus, mostly because I've been busy with moving, transferring, doing all that stuff. I've still been playing the game. I'm enjoying it a lot. I've been enjoying Season 3, I enjoyed Season 4, but I haven't made a lot of content. I know. I'm sorry about that, but we're gonna get back to it, and I'm excited for Season 5 because we're getting a new character with Stelle, which I'm gonna be honest, with of the characters being announced, obviously of characters we already knew of that were gonna be coming in game, you know, we had like people like Mac. Obviously Mac was one I was already most excited for, and I'm gonna be honest with Stelle, it's one that I haven't been most optimistic about, but from just watching the trailer of the first announcement of Stelle, it has made me kind of intrigued, and so I'm hoping with looking at these new cards that are being revealed that hopefully I and maybe you will get excited for Stelle, and maybe she'll be a monster, maybe she'll be a problem. We'll have to see. Hey, I think it's important because I mentioned this several times throughout the video that you're gonna watch here. I mentioned this trailer, so we're gonna be watching the BAZAAR trailer that introduces Stelle. I've already seen this, so I won't be surprised, but hey, maybe you guys like it. We might jump around, so be warned.
Into an aviation empire.
An aviation empire. So good. This made me excited. I instantly saw this. I was like, oh wait, they might do airplanes. I like airplanes.
An engineering prodigy with
Huzzah.
a passion for making things better.
Wow. Also, look at that person on their phone. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
But the rest of the family had a passion for something else.
Something else. Greed. Way more excited. I'm excited for this. This just made me like remind me of Studio Ghibli's like house move and castle, and I'm just like,
One day,
sounds crazy to me, but I do want warp blimps as an item. I want it as an item so badly. I know we already have the enemy as like frigates, but it'd be so cool. This kind of reminds me of how, you know how you have that whole event with Vanessa, which the bounty hunter's tracking her down. This kind of like the family dynamic kind of got that vibe with it, and I love it. I love it. It's kind of fun. Stelle made a choice. She's done.
She would not let her talents be sold to tyrants.
Yeah. Do it. Do it, Tony Stark. Wow.
Upgraded and calibrated.
Upgraded and calibrated.
With every tool.
She's gonna help people out.
Stelle will engineer a new life in the wild workshop of the BAZAAR.
I hope we get some airplanes that are like old school airplanes. They're like really like just like really shoddy airplanes. I'm down for it. I hope so. It'd be really cool. All right, character screen. Nice. Okay, I saw this and I'm pumped. I want this board so badly. I'm curious if they're okay. Also, I've already got spoiled. This is the thing I was kind of saying I would want. Obviously, I want it more in the traditional side of like airplanes we actually own. Also, this map's actually not too bad. I don't know if I would use it too much, but it's not bad. Dude, I want this airship. And I'm curious if it's going to be in boards or in chests like how they used to do it, or what they just recently did with Season 4 where they put it in the actual progression system. We'll have to see. It turns out they're doing a lot of changes. They're doing a lot of changes when it comes to their monetization. So we'll have to see what they decide to do when it comes out on this new season. But even looking at the chest, I didn't pay attention to this before, but the chest and the bank is kind of interesting. I like this bank, just like a chair. It's kind of fun, the comfy chair. I'm interested in how this chest works. I literally just got a new chest that just came out that I love so much. So I wonder if this will dethrone it. Probably not. But hey, I'm interested to see this. This is gonna be so cool.
Workshop in the tower district.
What's up, Birdie?
Where she undercuts
Wow.
the elite machinists.
Wow.
Offering repairs and upgrades to BAZAAR.
Flysicle? I just started flying. Okay, so it makes itself start flying. It's just a bicycle that flies. Got it. Wait, is that all it does? It just starts flying? Nice item, bro. What is this? Oxygen tank? 4 second heals 50 for each vehicle you have. Oh, when this is destroyed, gain 100 regen. That seems insane.
I just want to pay back.
Propeller. Okay, starts flying. Your flying items cooldowns are reduced by 10%. Makes sense. This is more what I'm excited for. I want a bunch of airplanes. What is this? Dartboard. There's a dartboard? No, don't touch him. Don't touch him. No! No! No!
So, how can I get you into this vehicle, my friend?
All right, man. Okay, man. You're not that guy. Dude, actually, I want that. I want that so bad. Okay, what does this say? Private runabout. Deals 200 damage. This items cooldown is reduced by 1 second for each flying item you have. Dang! Okay, so this is just going to be like, you just buff up its damage, right? This is going to be not quite a Tortuga, but it's that type of like cannonade is what I'm thinking about. It's like cannonade, but flying kind of. Love the animation on it. Animation's great. Hang glider. 5 seconds, your small items start flying. Interesting. And then when your items stop flying, deals 100 damage. So we're going to want to care about stopping flying.
So gentle. Having built
Jeez, that's what I want. I want this.
the weapon.
I'm gonna be honest, when I first watched this, I was just like glazed over, not really paying attention, just kind of listening and enjoying. I'm actually carrying now and locked in. This is the stuff I want. 12 seconds, deals 100 damage. When you use a drone, this gains 25 damage for the fight. Your other vehicles are drones. Adjacent drones have it multicast. So aka any vehicle has multicast. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I remember seeing this. Oh, go to change, by the way. Being able to see the gems right off the bat on the deal, that's actually really goated. It just makes it way more clear and easy to see from the distance. Okay, that's cool. Also, look at this animation for the flying. I love it. It's so good.
No more warships.
I saw this already. I wasn't expecting this. That's so funny. We got another blimp. Down for that. They're using the wheel. Legendary? What is this? A pin? It's gonna be like a flying pin. Looked like it did slow there. Is that what it did? Uncle Odie. Dude, Uncle Odie looks sick.
I earn enough to get by. And this is way more fun.
Eject? First time you would die each fight. Destroy one of your vehicles for the fight to heal to full? What? That seems insane. Yeah, that should be diamond. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I remember seeing this. I was like, yes. Yes. Which is this unstable grab well? All your items start flying. Destroy this and a enemy item with no cooldown for the fight. That's crazy.
His father started his company with nothing, and everyone told him he'd fail.
Of course, Uncle Odie. I will remember that.
Of him, Stelle. Another crazy dreamer.
Oh, who's this? Who is this, Dad?
Clouds,
Who is that?
exactly where it belongs.
What? I need it. I need it. I need it. Go back. Go back. Also, this is just Mac. That's just a Mac skin. Oh, this is just Mac. This really is just Mac. Are these oh. I'm a Mac main, everybody. Mac main? Mac main sees new Mac items. What is this floating island? And these potions are so weird. We have an owl friend and a dragon. I love dragon. So, yes. Yes.
Clouds,
Also, I do also like the idea of having like a map as item. That's also really cool.
it belongs.
Oh, dude, yes. Mac items.
Maybe a skilled dogfighter. An effective
I gotta have that skin. I gotta have this skin.
but she is no.
How did I not see that skin last time? Like I saw this one, but I didn't see the one before. That's so funny. I need the squirrel outfit so badly. Yeah, and without further ado, let's jump into the actual items and see if they're actually good, though. Because let's be honest, that's important. But without further ado, let's look at Stelle's new items. Which again, thank you to Tempo for revealing them early and allowing us peasants be able to get to see them early. I'm very appreciative to them. Thank you for that. And also thank you to the content creators who have put out the videos to this, obviously, being able to do that. It's been very helpful. And for people like us who are interested in it, I'm very thankful that we can get an idea of these cards early. As always, thank you for PunNoFun for that video. Link to the video is down below. But basically, hey, all the videos we're looking at today, hey, they're going to be down in the description, or, well, they're going to be the top comment also. Please click on the video and play the video while we're going through it, please, because they deserve the watch time. If you're watching their video, they deserve the watch time. So, hey, if you're going to watch this also, get another tab open and watch it at the same time. Please, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, more Bazaar. Stelle has just been
Hello,
announced, and I've been given the
PunNoFun.
opportunity
I like
to
this
show
content
some
creator.
new
Great
items
content
before
creator.
Release next Wednesday. She looks very fun.
She
The
does.
items I've been given is like a little self-destruction archetype we haven't really seen before.
Self-destruction, you say. Okay, this is interesting because we've seen already before. One, destruction in general in this game has been kind of gross and crazy. Like they've had to tweak it with Dooley, his whole destroy build. Like before, it was very niche and it was very much more punishing to your opponent of like destroying your stuff. And then they tweaked it with the Dino build in season 3 to be not as repetitive. Like you needed separate items that do it. Like each item would more often than not only destroy when they go off once than how it used to be of like every single time it goes off it would scale, just to keep it from being a gross playstyle. I mean, it's very good. And then this kind of reminds me of Mac already with his self-poison build, where it's like, obviously it seems like a negative, but maybe it's going to be so much of a benefit that it's going to be gross. Like we already know like Powder Keg destroys itself and it's really crazy. I'm interested it's going to be like that, where it's just like, even though you're destroying your own board, it has this massive one-off effect where it really feels more like a potion or an ammo item that only has one ammo. So it's like one-time use, but it's really powerful. I'm down.
I'm going to take this
I'm excited.
to shield a little. Forgive me. I upload daily edited Bazaar content.
He does.
Item pop-ups if you don't know what something does. And
he does.
Stuff out like day one.
They're good. I like his videos.
I try and keep a varied approach to the rank runs I do upload. Trying not to play the same thing twice. If that sounds like it's for you, feel free.
His thumbnails always upset me. They're funny, but I'm like, I can't do it.
Dingle these items out over the.
Dude, you're just throwing all of them out at once. Jeez.
Of course, like 10 minutes. Here they all.
Oh, I'm covering up such a crucial thing already. Look at that. Okay, so we already can see the flying mechanic. Flying. Item is considered flying and is affected by freeze and slow for half duration. Wait, is that all? Is that all that flying's doing? I guess there's other stuff like this that like cares about if you have flying that might help it out more, but like I was hoping the actual flying mechanic would be more. This is still good. I mean, the freeze I'm not too crazy about. Obviously it's helpful, but like I think slow is way more of a popular status effect that gets used a lot. Like we see with the Vanessa's recent slow crit build, like that goes off pretty frequently. Femur is a pretty good Mac item still, even though it got nerfed. And so seeing that, this could be interesting. Also, lava roller. I love this. I honestly, first look at this, my brain as a farming background, I was like, oh, this is just a combine. It's a harvester. You're harvesting your wheat, which honestly, if if Stelle actually had like not like a full-on farmer build, it'd be cool if we had a farmer character. But like if we had one that kind of like messed around with that as like vehicles that are like equipment, maybe I'd like that. At first it sounds like that's lame. Like I like obviously these obvious like damage things, but we'll see. Ooh, hydrogen tank is an item we've already seen. I think this might have got changed. We'll see. I'll let him talk though. I'll let them talk. Destroy adjacent item. Okay, we'll just
if
let
them
talk.
There you go. Take your screenshot, and I hope you have a nice day.
Thank you.
The rest of this video is going to be me talking about each of them, along with some dev notes I've been provided that explain a bit more about the mechanics.
Okay.
First, I want to talk about Buster. This is the card I've been given that seems to contain the most new mechanics. This says when your vehicles or drones start flying, this starts
new
flying.
tag.
And it stops flying.
Hey. For Vat Acids friends, for Vat Acids or what's it called, Pygmalion Bob enjoyers, drones. New tag alert. Okay.
20% of your enemy's max health, then destroy this in an enemy item for the fight. So first off, we got a new type, drone. I believe 2 of them were shown in the trailer today, and you can see they go pretty fast. So getting this thing flying doesn't seem too hard.
Okay.
All right, so what is this flying mechanic?
Let me read it again. I was yapping midway through, so I didn't actually process it. When your vehicles or drones start flying, this starts flying. Makes sense. I mean, it's a bomb. You need the thing flying to drop it. I like the lore. That works flavor-wise. When this stops flying, deal damage. I guess, okay, that's where the destroy comes in. I don't know. When this stops flying, deals damage equal to 20% of your enemy's max health, so kind of like Keg. And then destroy this and an enemy item for the fight. So it does both. I like that. That's fun.
Given this little tool tip here. Item is considered flying and affected by freeze and slow for half duration. I was given a little extra info about flying. So first off, having of the slow and freeze only applies to new slow and freeze. So if something's already frozen for 2 seconds, making it fly is not going to have that to 1.
That's
flying
okay.
is also a binary condition, so items are either flying or they're not.
Okay.
It also doesn't have a duration, so flying items will remain flying until something causes them to stop.
Okay, so that's how we get the second part when this stops flying. Okay, I was wondering because I was like, what do you mean stop flying? I was like, how do you do that? But I guess there's gonna be items that do it.
A lot of items in Stelle's pool are gonna care about flying. Some want many items to be flying at once. Some care about using flying items, and some care about when items stop or start flying.
Okay.
Seems like a neat new condition to play around and Stelle's main gimmick.
I also, looking at the trailer, I like the animation for it. I think it's a fun animation, which is always important.
Anyway, Buster seems cool. It seems pretty easy to make it start flying. No idea how hard it'll be to make it stop, but if it's pretty easy, then
that's what I'm worried about.
Very quick, burst of damage and then some very good utility through item destruction. It seems more for utility, and then something like, Keg. This doesn't seem like your item that's killing people because it can't crit.
Okay.
Obsidian, it's dealing, 40%?
It's not critting. Oh, that's a good point. Right, yeah. Which then maybe it means it can go off pretty quickly for the destroy factor. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe the diamond upgrade is 40%, and then that would be 80% with obsidian. That would be pretty silly. Also, another idea is like you put radiant on this thing and then you just spam it. That would be very silly.
Radiant? So it doesn't even destroy itself and it just keeps going off? You know what? I'm down for it. You know why? Because Radiant has been such a meme, like, enchantment that, like, the only reason why I think I would do Radiant, you know, Radiant, if you don't know, is the enchantment that makes it where it can't be affected by slow, destroy, all those type of stuff, like freeze, like, it can't be affected by that. And so, like, the only reason why I would run something like that is, one, if it's, like, the only thing being given to me, or two, if, like, I'm trying to run some kind of, like, dam kind of build, right? That's, like, the only reason. So having it, like, a more reason to run it is, I'm kind of down for it.
Really, a lot of item destruction and damage just very fast. We'll have to see how easy it is to make this thing stop flying. Next is Bon Voyage. This is 6 seconds, deal 100, burn 10. When this stops flying, use this 6 times and destroy this.
And destroy
this
this.
Is our last card that involves a flight mechanic. It seems alright. 600 damage and 60 burn burst is not bad. Maybe still has ways to scale that damage further into the late game. I don't know. Maybe it's fine how it is. I'm having a hard time gauging how powerful this looks. Anyway, this also is a card that seems like it could go hard with a Radiant enchant, which
I think that's most of these. With the whole, like, you get to keep spamming and doing its effect. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. I hope there's some kind of, like, good haste build with this, right? It seems like you're going to want something like that to go it off quickly.
Love fun Radiant enchants. Radiant's actually useful for once. Whoa.
Yeah, no,
Next
crazy.
is another self-destroy item. Seems to be the theme of the items I was given.
Yes,
this
good.
Says, 14 seconds, destroy
the big
this.
one?
This is destroy. Deal damage equal to 35% of your enemy's max health.
14
so
seconds is
this
crazy.
A 10-second faster keg, but without the built-in charge. Although another big difference is I don't think this can crit, right? Because the damage part is part of the passive, which takes effect when this is destroyed, right?
So this is so much worse?
Crit. So you're never looking at just like, oh, I get obsidian and crit, and this is one-shotting. Still, it seems cool with like Rivet Gun, and I'm sure she'll have some other haste and charge options.
They
to
gotta.
make this go pretty fast.
Or else it's pointless.
Also, extremely funny counter destruction if any dinosaurs show up. Next, an old item, now reworked. This is Hydrogen Tank, which used to be in the game as Propane Tank. This card has been reworked to 5 seconds, haste adjacent items for 1 second.
There we go. There's our haste.
We'll use this at the start of fight. When this is destroyed, burn 100.
Okay, that's pretty nice. Starting at the beginning of combat, like that's a scary thing to do. And, you know, you could do that, a lot of things that trigger and just like rig, you're triggering all your other skills, making that go off. And then when this is destroyed, burn 100. 100? That's a lot. But I love the idea that, one, it works flavor-wise with the whole, like, oh, if this explodes, it makes a big old damage, right? But I love the idea if you're facing a dually with the dinosaur build and they destroy it and just get hit for 100 for no reason. It's so funny.
Combat effects are always really strong, especially haste, and still seems to have a few...
Dude. Actually, you know what's going to be crazy with this is being able to use this for Fireclaw. Fireclaw, easy buff up Fireclaw by just having this on the board. Because this has 100 burn, just buffing up Fireclaw so easily. It's going to be, as a Fireclaw enjoyer, this is great. I love it.
Vehicles, you can probably work this in even if your main plan isn't vehicles. The destroy effect also seems pretty good. I saved this for second last, though, because our last item, Lava Roller, seems to synergize with it quite well. This is a vehicle that says 10 seconds, burn 30, destroy an adjacent item for the fight. When you destroy an item, double this item's burn for the fight. So you could start of combat haste using Hydrogen Tank and then have Lava Roller destroy Hydrogen Tank and apply a bunch of burn like that. And then there's also, of course, the synergy with the big one, so you could also deal a bunch of damage with that instead. It seems pretty neat.
Okay, so that's how they're... Okay, so yeah, that seems like definitely a way better way than other those things that care about, you know, or have an effect when it destroys, but they have like a long cooldown, like that having a 14-second cooldown. Obviously, this goes off 10 seconds. Yeah.
Effects,
okay,
cool.
cool.
Something like Atlas Stone does the doubling damage and then deals its damage. So I was wondering if this worked the same. I reached out to Toby about it. He said it's intended to double the burn and then do the burn, which improved my
nice.
Of this
That's way better.
It seems like kind of the capstone in this destruction board. You know, use Hydrogen Tank with it, use the big one with it. I think it'll be especially good with Buster, which destroys 2 items and maybe goes pretty fast. So.
That'd be cool.
You get all that doubling.
Oh, yeah, definitely just destroying Buster and getting that thing is great.
That's quite a bit of burn, potentially, right? Seems like a very, very cool board to run.
I'm still looking for the Hydrogen Tank and Fireclaw, though. I'm pumped for that.
Self-destruction synergy. I gotta give props to the art team. This all looks amazing.
I'm
an especially big fan of Bon Voyage and Lava Roller.
Buster
Lava
looks
Roller
great.
might just be one of my favorite arts in the game now. The little like glass road it's creating as it drives across the sand is so
cool.
sick.
Look, what I like about this is the lore of the game. I think that's a low-key thing I've been enjoying a lot of the game is they've done a good job at doing like lore bits of it, and like this being of like, oh, how to traverse the desert, and it's like here's this thing that lava rolls, and obviously it makes glass because it's lava. Like that's a cool weird vehicle. Like they could have just done some other thing that's like more traditional, but like this is creative. I like that. I wasn't expecting it. It's very cool. I love it. Next content creator we're going to be watching from is from Incoherent. I'm pretty pumped. I like this content creator. I mean, all these content creators, I watch their stuff in some regards, so all good content creators, so definitely check them out if you want to after this. Without further ado, let's jump in. Her haste package. Okay, this I was wondering about her haste stuff.
I'm Nico, and I've got some Stelle
already. Oh my goodness. Okay, I did see this like right off the bat, and I wasn't really interested just because, again, with Stella, the whole vibe of it, like I do care about the sauce. Like the cards have to be saucy. They have to be cool cards that I want to play with, right? Like I think that's very important. And so with knowing that Stella's going to be some kind of like mechanic build, it's like that guess could that be okay? I don't know. She's going to have a wrench, but the idea of vehicles is like, okay, that broadens it a little bit. I'm kind of like the sauce of vehicles. They could be good. But when they especially showed off airplanes, I was down. Suffice to say, when I saw Low Roller at the very first, I was like, I don't really care. But look at this already. This has +1 multicast for each adjacent tool. Obviously, it's not like the craziest thing in the world, but we're already seeing it's 4 seconds for hasting one item. And as I mentioned before, I think with some of the longer items we saw already, we want something that can go off a bunch, hasting. And so this hasting a bunch of times, even if you just get this into a Vanessa haste build, like this could be kind of fun.
Card reveals for you. These will all be going live with Stelle on the 13th.
Love it.
Which is next Wednesday, 4 days from now as the video goes live.
I'm so excited.
I'll be revealing the cards I got, which is sort of a haste package, from what I view as the least interesting and powerful looking at the bunch to the most interesting and powerful of the bunch.
Okay.
So the most bog standard card of the lot, I would say, is the Low Roller.
Yep.
It's a medium vehicle tech. It's a 4-speed item that haste one.
I don't like that as medium,
tier,
but makes sense.
It has +1 multicast for each adjacent tool.
Yep.
As always, we don't exactly know how these scale, we don't exactly know what the enchant timing is going to be, but on something like Low Roller, it seems incredibly likely to me that it's going to be getting additional haste duration as you rank it up, and that makes it pretty analogous to a Dock Lines from Vanessa.
Yeah.
And while
Dock Lines is obviously... Dock Lines is it's hard to compare it to Dock Lines because Dock Lines is so just... Or not Dock Lines. Does he mean dive weights? Oh, I mean, he means it scales up like Dock Lines does. Okay. I mean, yeah, for me, this is like you compare this to what's called dive weights, right? But like that's a hard comparison because dive weights is just so much better. But maybe this will be good. It does go off 4 seconds, so maybe it can trigger some things quicker, but we'll see.
Really solid card, not particularly broken, but very strong in terms of the raw value it adds to a build.
For dock sides.
I expect the Low Roller to be in a pretty similar spot, although it's worth noting that at silver tier at least, it is notably worse than the silver Dock Lines, but different characters, different power curves, different concerns with status ailments.
Yeah.
Low Roller is looking fine, but not super exciting. There's some way more hype stuff going on in the later card reveals. Let's move on to the next one.
My bad, I got too hyped for it, I guess. My bad.
Jetpack is a small vehicle.
Which makes sense. I'm glad this is in the game because we technically had them with thrusters, and like the whole beginning trailer of the BAZAAR has dually going off with jetpacks. So it's like we need to have proper jetpacks, and it seemed like they tweaked thrusters to be that, but this is just, I think, better.
5 second duration, and it hastes the item to the left of it for 1 second.
Nice.
And if it's flying, haste the item to the right of it for 1 second.
Interesting.
At bronze. And again, with an item like this, I just assume per tier we're going to be seeing additional haste duration, but we don't really know that yet. As for flying, the way that works, other people have reveals much more focused on flying than mine is, although mine mentions it a lot. Flying is pretty heavily integrated into the card pool for Stelle.
What do we think is better? Do we think it would be better if this, call me crazy, if as it upgrades, since this is bronze, if it upgrades, it does the haste duration longer? Or is it better if the cooldown go down? Am I crazy? I think the cooldown would be really crazy. Just to proc things. But, you know, obviously I think I would rather have things upgrade the other way than all go cooldown reduction, because then if it's just all cooldown reduction, then it turns into a meta of what's the quickest item, which we've already seen, which is not as fun. So obviously I don't want it to be that way, but I'm just curious which one would be stronger. Probably
a binary toggle. An item is either flying or not. There are items that will start items flying. There are items that will stop items flying.
Yep.
Both for themselves and for other items, some by adjacency, some randomly, some by type. So there's going to be a lot of different ways that you could theoretically make the jetpack start flying, is the point of this. which means
Hopefully.
that if you can get it to be flying,
hopefully we actually haven't seen any yet with all the revealed cards, so that is something we're going to have to keep an eye out, is seeing any cards that actually do trigger flying or no flying. We're probably also going to get some skills that might also do something with flying, so I'm kind of interested with that, what that might be.
controlled haste both adjacent items for 1 to 4 seconds, which is a very strong small item to be sure. It does start at 5 seconds, so it's not like the best haste enabler in the game.
No.
Typically, the most broken haste enablers are going to see are stuff like Metronome Uzi to get a 2-second haste on something important.
Yeah.
Jetpack is still solid,
yes.
though. Fair in a way that Uzi Metronome isn't. Definitely looks like a good enough card if you can get it flying, and if you can't get it flying, there will still be builds that would appreciate targeted haste on a specific item.
Obviously early game too.
I feel like this
Seems
is
okay.
mostly for flying builds. If you're not enabling the second half, there's probably better things you can do with your board space.
Yep.
Additionally, though, what I think is going to be the much more important part of an item being flying is when other items care about the fact they're flying.
Yeah.
For Jetpack, it
Obviously.
effectively doubles the value of Jetpack.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing.
There are going to be no shortage of items that are when an item starts flying, do X, whether it's scaling or triggering an effect. There are also going to be items that trigger when you stop flying. There are going to be items that interact with flying in a ton of different ways. And while the flying status ailment is nice for crowd control resistance, I expect that generally the more important part of flying is going to be how items interact with the mechanic in general.
Yeah, of course.
As a great example of that, our next item is the headset. It's a small tech and apparel. When your item starts flying, haste it for 1 second. And that is obviously very good. Again, I assume the same scaling, which means it's a ton of haste at higher tiers. So obviously in an ideal world, you can start your whole board flying, and this is going to essentially be an energy potion. But I think it goes much more than that once.
Am I crazy to think headset's going to be a skill? This is going to be a skill when you... I guess it'd be crazy. I guess maybe like one of the first one time, where it's going to be like one of those, or the first 2 times or something, you do it in combat, haste or something, which is really strong, but
we'll see the whole card pool for Stelle. We're going to start seeing the idea of starting and stopping flying repeatedly, and this might just be indefinite haste for an entire board, maybe just your key cards, but the ability to repeatedly trigger this headset's passive effect by starting and stop flying triggers being used over and over again is something that's really, really interesting. This could potentially do an absolutely unreasonable amount of haste. And whenever I see cards like this, I always personally start worrying that I'm gonna have runs where it's like, all right, gotta find specifically headset to make the dream happen.
Yeah, that's not fun.
But that's not the case, because even in just my card reveal, we have redundancy. We have the anemometer. It's a medium tool, starts at silver. It's an active item this time around with a 4-second cast time. And when it goes off, it starts an adjacent item flying.
Finally, we get to see some starters. And it has the passive when one of your items starts or stops flying, haste it for 1 second. How do you stop flying now? How do you stop flying? Now that we know how to start it, how do we stop it? I need to know. I'm so confused.
Really important because it means it's a controlled effect.
Well, this seems really good.
It's random which adjacent item it targets, but if you really care about one specific item flying, then you can put this all the way to one side and haste, haste. We'll get there in a second. You can start the specific only adjacent item as flying 4 seconds guaranteed.
I love that type of style of like mechanic because it's kind of fun because it's like it still has the randomness of it, but then like you can control it if you just put it to the one side and only have it affect one item. We've seen that with so many different items recently. Like we've seen it with Mac. I'm thinking of Injector, and I'm thinking of the massive boy who is the poison dude who reminds me of Bane, but if he was Slug. Yeah, like those are great examples of like, hey, sometimes you don't want to have it on both sides, but a lot of times you do, and so if you don't, maybe put it to one side.
You can run it in a more random fashion if you just need the fly procs for something else in general.
Yeah.
And then when one of your items starts or stops flying, haste it for 1 second.
Only a tool.
So this does a very similar thing to headset, but it also bakes in the initial fly trigger as well, at least for some of your items. And then on top of that, it triggers again when something stops flying if you can find the triggers for that. So between these two items, you can see a ton of different haste triggers going into any build that's triggering flying a lot. And that means that if you have a payoff for the haste, this is something that's really, really valuable to you. What sort of payoffs for the haste might Stelle have? We'll have to wait and see if there's anything more on other characters, but right now we can see that if you can start and stop flying a lot, you can get a ton of haste triggers, whether it be out of anemometer or headset. There's also backups with stuff like jetpack and low roar for haste from elsewhere, and the payoff for haste that I have to reveal is goggles, actually. Throughout every...
Of all things? Oh, because of the bottom part. Goggles will finally be a good item. This was always like the most memed on, I think, Stelle card, but because it's actually like a pretty common one you'll get in the what's his name, the mechanic, the orc mechanic. Whenever you fight him, I feel like you always get goggles, and it's just like a unusable card. And so this will actually become a usable card, as he's gonna say, because of the bottom part of the passive of when you haste, adjacent item gain 3% crit chance. So you're gonna be at crit enabler right here. I'm glad that a card that used to be completely useless is now actually probably usable. We'll have to see. Again, one worry I have about the flying mechanic right now is it's kind of reminding me what the struggle was early on with Mac in his reagent build, because there was like, okay, is it easy to get reagent, and is it good to get like something like catalyst, something to be able to transform the reagent? Like, you have two different functions in order to achieve this effect, and I feel like with flying we might have this problem, hopefully not, of, hey, I need to be able to start my flying and stop my flying. So it's two separate things you have to find to enable this thing to actually start getting value. And it's like, it might be one too many things, but maybe not. Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Everything you know about goggles, that item's dead. This is a different goggles.
Oh, I'm pumped.
It is a bronze starting item.
I guess it's not even changed.
With a 6-second cast.
It's just like, oh, you can actually use the haste pretty often.
Adjacent items gain 3% crit chance for the fight. And that is not at all what it used to do. What it used to do is when you would haste, it specifically, then the goggles would gain haste. Now, anytime.
No wonder it was so bad. You're right. I just remembered haste and crit. That's all I remembered from it. I think the last time I even tried to look at it to see what it did was when I was doing like a Vanessa crit build. That's like the only time I think I've last looked at goggles and be like, what does this do? That's so funny. Yeah, it made it self-crit? Oh, brother.
Time anything gains haste, this gives the crit chance to the adjacent items, which essentially means that if you can build,
which is fair. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't make it. I'm surprised they didn't make it to like give it to all items, because there is multiple items that do that. Obviously, at bronze, 3 crit to all is crazy if it did that. So like you would probably do like 1% crit to all or something like that. Obviously, it depends on the haste build, but at bronze, like I could see that being the thing. But like doing adjacent makes it way more in line. Like it's not going to be too crazy gross.
Anything adjacent to goggles pretty quickly hits 100% crit chance at higher tiers. But the point is that even at the base value of 3% crit chance, that's only 31 haste triggers to get to 100%. That is hard to do, but for the base expectation of a small bronze item, that's still a huge amount of crit chance. We can likely see higher crit chance and higher tiers.
That's what I would assume.
Very confident
when you upgrade it, it gets
Goggles
higher
essentially
crits.
says any haste build can 100% crit chance their payoffs pretty quickly.
That's kind of fun.
And that is a very, very strong payoff for,
especially with the destroy effects ones. If you can crit with some of those effects, again, the last person mentioned, PunNoFun kind of mentioned how like most of them seem like they won't be able to crit, which is a bummer. But if they can, you know, those haste enablers to get to that effect as soon as possible, and you crit with it, that could be good.
for an archetype.
Well, to see.
Now, how exactly the haste archetype is going to work, we have no idea. Every card reveal is only 5 out of 100 cards. We're looking at 5% of the pool. So it's very possible that someone else has a card that's like every time you haste, gain 60 damage.
Yeah.
We're looking at Vanessa sort of scaling builds.
Yeah. Something
and
crazy.
It's just incredibly simple to give that 100%
Probably.
chance. Alternatively, you might be combining multiple
Like
different builds.
even just something like snowmobile build, right? Snowmobile build, it's like whenever you haste or when you what's it called, freeze is what it is. It like buffs up. We're thinking of like Shark Ray, where wherever you haste, he scales. One of those type of items, but. And obviously here, I mean, the fact that they did it for a vehicle in Pig means they can easily do it for a vehicle in Stella here. So yeah, that's probably definitely going to happen.
Where you're hasting the
sure.
payoff to a start, stop, fly archetype instead. Once we have all the cards, we can better see how goggles fit.
Yeah, something where it's like you're going to gain damage whenever you stop or start flying. That could be kind of interesting.
Are you just playing haste? Are you playing fly and you're getting a ton of haste and crit in addition to your fly triggers? But you can see that goggles is giving crazy crit scaling if you have good haste scaling, and you can build a ton of haste out of the fly triggers themselves. I'm very interested in using these cards in play. I hope you're looking forward to Stelle, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for your time, and have a good night.
Peace. All right, Sixten, last video, last one we got here. I'm pumped to check it out. Let's see what he got. Shorter video, but hopefully we got some cool items. Let's see if we see any payoff items. That'd be kind of sick. That's kind of what we need. Actually, what we need is items that stop flying. I need to see that. I need to see it. I know we could see some other haste benefits later, but I'm curious. I'm curious because we saw one item that actually started flying. I want to see some items that stop flying. Okay, I want to see
new items. Before I get into the items, I think it is worth talking about Stelle's unique mechanic.
Yep, flying.
Flying.
Do we think other items are going to get flying? Probably not, because they're doing a whole mechanic with it. It's not going to be like some kind of tag. Like, I was curious if they would have made it like a tag almost, but they have not made it a tag. They made it more of a mechanic, like a state. It's kind of interesting because, like, I'm thinking of something like flying carpet, for example, right? It's a flying carpet. Will it have flying? Will it have anything to do with flying? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they'll rework it so it can work really well in the Stelle build. That'd be kind of cool, but I guess we'll have to see.
the items.
Fire hose?
All related to her slow archetype, where you want to get as many slow procs as possible.
Slow archetype.
First up, we have
Fire hose,
which is a medium tool.
Interesting.
5-second cooldown. Slow all items for 1 second.
Sounds insane.
Burn.
Get me that with Amber. Yeah, hook me up. Easily do that and just for 5 seconds. That's gross. That's so gross. And the cleanse your burn.
Cooldown, so it goes up to
cleanse your burn.
2
It's fitting.
At gold and 3 at diamond. I think this is a very powerful item that you definitely want to look for if you're interested in playing her slow archetype.
I'm just thinking of like other characters who care about like Vanessa's slow build or even Max slow build with Femur. All of them seem like this would be great. 5 seconds is annoying.
Next
annoying.
We have
Flashbang. It's back.
7-second small item.
When this item starts flying, reload it. Why? That's one of those where they have that in here, and it's just because there's a fly mechanic. Like, I'm trying to think of how that makes sense lore-wise of like the item and how that falls in line with it. It doesn't. It's cool because Flashbang, I used it like once. It's not like it was a terrible item before, but like, you know, it's just wasn't something you go after. And so this is kind of interesting. Kind of works. And then obviously this 7 seconds, that's way, is that quicker than it used to be? I thought it was longer. Maybe they lowered the cooldown and then they're going with this. But yeah, slow all enemy items for 3 seconds. That's crazy. And then reload it when you're flying. Kind of cool.
Slows all enemy items.
Probably won't use it, but we'll see.
And when this item starts flying, it
3
reloads.
seconds, crazy.
When you upgrade this item, it gains longer slow duration. This is another item that would go into Stelle's slow archetype, but it's also just a useful item in her other builds as well. Next up we have Multitool.
Hey,
it's a small
hey, they didn't change this, right? This is still the classic multi-tool. This was the only item before her coming out of like the items we've already seen of her items. This was the only one that I was like, all right, maybe she might have something cool. That was the only thing. At the time, we didn't have Vanessa's like slow build. You know, this was before even her whole like the gang's all here expansion that Vanessa has, where she had like the saloon which hasted and slowed. So before we had that, and when we got that is when like, oh, multi-tool seemed kind of cool because it was like, oh, it hasted and it slowed. And then we started getting that with Vanessa's stuff. That's the only item since her like stuff that's already existed that I was like kind of interested in. So yeah,
6-second cooldown. Haste
I still see it.
For 1 second. Slow one item.
Interested they didn't change it, but
when you
I mean it's still good.
It gains targets. So at diamond, it's haste 3 items and slow 3 items.
Down bad.
Worth mentioning here is that Stelle also has tool builds. So
I'd imagine.
This will
which
also
is the
see play
which again, as mentioned before, this was the kind of build I was not excited for with Stelle. This was the one thing I was like, she's probably going to be some kind of tool build where it's going to be like she's going to have basically she's going to be Bob the Builder with all her tools on her tool belt. Like it's going to be something like that. Like tool belt is going to be like a item. I'm guaranteed that. Tool belt has to be. If tool belt's not there, that's going to be insane. It has to at least be a skill. Something like that where it's like it's as if you're bored, you're building a tool belt, which is kind of cool. I can kind of see that, but like that's kind of it. That's the closest I could think of.
Non-slow related builds, which makes it a very flexible item. Next up, we have my favorite small Stelle item in the game. It's a small food item called Nicola.
Nicola.
And it charges adjacent items 2 seconds and also slows them for 1 second.
Okay.
2 ammo. When you upgrade
4 seconds
it gains
is great.
Charge amount. So at diamond it goes up to 4 seconds of charge. Now this item of course has
4 seconds of charge is kind of crazy.
We've been talking about, but it is also just a very flexible, nice item, especially in the late game to just get.
So many of these items, I'm just thinking of like the other characters like slow builds. I'm like, this would be crazy in Vanessa's slow crit build. This would be crazy in Max slow build. And it's just
a bit of extra
we'll have to see how it goes. Even in like
which is part of why I'm
dualies.
such a big fan of it. You can be very creative.
I need to see the payoff cards. I need to see the payoff slow cards.
Loops to kickstart certain items or manipulate cooldowns, because Stelle has a lot of items where you would like to sync them up. This item, while strong, also has a very high skill ceiling. Finally, we have Steam Hose, which is a medium tool, 5-second cooldown.
Finally, some of the payoff cards.
And when you slow, it gains 4 burn for the fight.
Okay.
So this is one of the slow payoffs. So obviously, with this item, you're looking to get as many slow procs as possible from other sources. And
it's starting off as like candle damage is crazy.
Overall,
bigger than candle burn.
I'm super excited.
Silver candle burn.
She's a very fun hero with a ton of different viable builds.
Thank you, Sixten. Thank you, Sixten. I lied. There's a 4th video. All right, I've seen this content creators work also. Good stuff. Check it out. He has a podcast. Don't worry about it. That we've seen some of the other content creators with. Don't worry about it. Check it out. Definitely worth it. It's fun. They take on other creators, like feature them, and so it's fun to hear their conversation about the meta and what's going on in their thoughts. With that being said, let's see what this what Metallfenix says about his items.
We're doing something a little bit different from the
It's
usual guide content today.
It's true.
Tempo Storm graciously provided me with 5 brand new Stelle items
Awesome.
to reveal to all of you before
Please,
her
give it to me.
upcoming full release
Give it to
on
me.
Wednesday.
Give it to me.
I won't stall for too long,
Please.
but I will say that I'm
Please.
planning to make my usual style of guide content for her pretty much as soon as she's released.
All right, look forward to that.
So if any of you are interested in seeing that, then
Yes.
please do subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
I would very much love to have you there. I'm sure many of you came here after already having seen the reveal trailer, which I'm recording this ahead of time.
I have.
Still making the
I have.
assumption that a lot
You
of
got
us
me.
have already
You got
been
me.
there. And in addition to this, of course, you can imagine there will be various Stelle items or triggers that care about when things start flying or stop flying, or if they are flying.
I hope you
or
show
not.
me. I hope
Flying
you
is
do.
an
I hope you
important
show me
part
that.
of the kit.
I hope you prove that to me, please. We haven't
As some
seen that
of you
really
as
too much.
viewers
We've
might
seen a little
have been
bit.
able to pick up based on the subtle hints. My first item to reveal are Stelle's aviators.
When you burn charge once,
They are
interesting.
a 5-second small bronze apparel that shields for 10 and charges when you burn.
I mean, obviously with the last items we saw, this works with it, right? With the slow burn build, and if you're burning, go off. Doesn't look like it goes off quickly, but we'll have to see.
And of course, I felt like I had to dress the part. I knew what I needed to do as soon as Tempo sent this
Obvious.
my way. I had to rock my own aviators.
Obviously.
For this
Had to.
time.
Had to. Literally
But
could not.
Similar to
without
mine, the main
Had to.
appeal of Stelle's is quite frankly the style factor rather than the effect itself.
Mm-hmm.
But any early small bronze shield item,
Look, if she's dealing with
charge,
airplanes and flying stuff, she has it as
will
aviators.
still be quite useful as sort of a curve filler or just early
Okay.
defensive option. You can sort of turn your offensive burn into defensive shield by using this item.
It depends on how
I don't
many
think
burn
anyone has
items
a
we have.
super hard time imagining the rough outline of how you might use this item.
Mm-hmm.
But it is sort of a taste of what's to come with the remaining items. I will also point out it is an apparel, and Gasio will be selling it. It would probably be pretty fun with.
That's a great point. That's a great point. If Gasio can sell it, that means it just raises the options, the possibility of other characters finding it, right? It just gives it more of a possibility because it's another shop you can buy it from as a out-of-character pool. And so thinking of just other characters who care about burn, adding in that little bit of a charging single space kind of shield could be kind of interesting. I like that. I like that. Good point out. Good point out. I like that.
Moving on, we also have an item that you may
okay, so here's some of the quicker burns. Okay, blowtorch. Makes sense.
For quite some time, if you happen to go to the Stelle vendor or found it from Pearl or any of the nodes that give a small tool.
Is this the same burn as lighter?
It's not particularly different.
Is this just lighter but with the tool tag?
Revolutionary new ground here. It's a small bronze tool with a 4-second cooldown that burns for 3. The things that are worth pointing out,
because lighter used to be a 3, but it got bonked up to 4.
There will definitely be Stelle items that care about burn triggers.
Yep.
And as Stelle is the mechanic, there will also assuredly be Stelle items that care about things that are tools.
Yep.
But moving on to newer things that you definitely
a drone. This is our first drone we get to see. Okay, new drone. This is a great item for Vet of Assets or Pygmalion because it has vehicle, tech, and drone. Solar drone, 8 seconds, shield 10. This starts flying. Okay, so it does it on its own. That's great. Love that. I wonder if that's going to be like a key thing in drones, that like a lot of the drones just start up on their own. And then when you burn, this gains 5 shield for the fight. Oh, okay. You scale it up a bunch and then it shields. Is this going to be like Mantis Shrimp?
Or we have
but for shield?
Solar drone, which is a small vehicle.
Is this going to be good in Dual Lead?
8-second cooldown, shields for 10, starts flying when you use it, and whenever you burn, it gains 5 shield for the fight.
I don't like
this
it.
is very similar
Its scaling
to
is not
aviators.
like when you upgrade it, it's definitely not going to be its cooldown. And I don't like it at 8 seconds, but maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. You know, when you level up, it's probably going to scale up its like scaling of like instead of getting 5 shield, you gain more. But we'll see.
That this item, probably the most noteworthy thing about it is its tags. We already know that there are very many powerful synergies with vehicles, and again, Stelle is the mechanic. She does care about not just things being tools,
I want a vehicle build. Give it to me.
It is also a
good vehicle build,
which, you know, you might see a few more of those for her if you keep your eyes open. But
more drones?
Okay. 8-second
I still want to see an item that says stop flying. We haven't seen that yet.
You expect this to be a late game powerhouse. It's just more something you can do in the early game that will definitely benefit from you already having some form of rapid fire burn.
Nothing crazy.
Now,
so you're saying I'm not gonna get this up and then enchant it with something to actually do damage. You're saying I can't win with this. This won't be my payoff. Is that a challenge? Do you challenge me? Okay.
Approach the
I probably won't do that. We'll see. Maybe
start heating up with
smoke detector. Oh, okay. Honestly, if she saw us, because from the whole trailer she talks about how she's like, I wanna build things that are for destruction but for helpful things, and this is one of those that fit in line with her lore. When you burn hasten item for 1 second, that's very fitting for a smoke detector. That's so fitting for a smoke detector. But 2, this just seems good. This just seems good, even for just other characters.
Small item.
I'm down for this.
Simply reads, when you burn.
Doesn't sound crazy, but it sounds like
And of course, this is very powerful. It's no secret that within the bazaar, any item that says when you do X, do Y, tends to be very powerful, as ICD is really the only limit in terms of how quickly you can activate this. This one in particular, since burn is oftentimes a very good trigger to be spamming, we have skills like whenever you use a tool, burn, we have items like blowtorch, and then haste isn't just a generically useful trigger, but it is also something that a lot of other items care about.
Right.
I'm not going to spoil exactly what Stelle might use it for, but you can surely imagine the type of damage
please!
Do
it's what I want!
Manage to get a hold of it on Vanessa, and you
think of other characters, you can think of some builds. I'd love to use this.
Incendiary rounds.
Yep.
It's definitely the kind of item.
It's got that feel. Incendiary rounds for sure.
It's clear that it has a lot of potential to make fun and engaging combos. And of course, it's also the type of item that can have very powerful enchants, as you know, that tends to be typically the case with whenever you do X, do Y.
Incendiary rounds is a great example.
And finally,
because it does
the
very
last
similar
item I'll be revealing in this video, we also have the medium gold tool pressure.
I love the art of this. This art looks fun. This looks like a fun thing. It reminds me of like Max Potion, where it's like this weird thing. I'm down for it.
Which is a 6-second cooldown item.
Adjacent burn items gain 5 burn. Interesting. And you charge it.
5 burn for the rest of the fight, and that charges whenever you use another tool or vehicle.
Okay.
And I think this is where you can truly see the culmination of what all the previous items have been up to.
Her burn build kind of doing this.
Vehicles that care about burn. We have seen tools that burn themselves. And of course, the ability to stack more burn on your burn items when burn in and of itself is a stacking mechanic to begin with. It just tends to be really powerful whenever you manage to leverage it on your board. This isn't really directly comparable to something like Duelist Ignition Core, as right now at least it scales its own burn and oftentimes is used as a kind of solo carry item. But if anyone here has been playing for long enough that you remember when Ignition Core didn't scale itself and only other items, that was still a very powerful playstyle, especially in kind of the mid-game.
I like that one way more, but
where, you know, any multicast or quick or on-trigger effect item
scale the burn, where it does multiple burns, really.
5, 10, 15 extra burn, it's going to be really powerful. remains to be seen if, you know, immediately on launch.
Like, you could run this in a Vanessa burn build or some other thing. Like,
on straight away. But at the very least, it is another exciting, interesting item that I think has a lot of potential to cook with, you know?
Could be fun.
And we do love to see those. So, to sum it up, and apologies for kind of covering the smoke detector here with my face, but I will put this whole...
Probably my favorite one of the ones revealed in this one.
Well,
low-key, which is funny.
This is the items that we revealed. Aviators, blowtorch, solar drone, smoke detector, and pressure heater. They give you a very clear indication.
Blowtorch is so funny to me. It's so funny.
Tools, vehicles, drones, burning, and the ability to charge. So all of that is definitely things that you will be seeing more of and doing more of if you join me in playing her at the launch of Season 5 this Wednesday. But
I think I will.
With all that said, thank you very much for watching. As I said at the start,
thanks for the video.
Love to see some more of you subscribe.
Yeah.
Barely at the cusp of 1,000 subscribers, which would feel like an absolutely amazing milestone to hit.
Yeah, it is.
And you can be sure
Hook 'em up.
I'm going to be putting out more Stelle content as soon as we all get our hands on her online. I will probably try to stream some of my early games on Stelle at twitch.tv.
That's a great idea.
There as well.
That's a great idea.
Description.
Let's do it.
So with all that said, thank you for sticking with me until the very end. I hope that wherever you are, you have a wonderful morning, day, evening, or night, and that I'll see you in the next one.
Nice. Sadly, we're gonna have to wait till release to see more of Stelle's like payoff cards. Sadly, I wish we got to see more of them. I wish we get to see how to stop flying, because that's gonna be really big for like procs of when you start flying. I think that's gonna be the bigger thing, obviously, is to get them to start flying, but it's still gonna be crucial to stop them. So I don't know. We'll have to see when we get there. I think of the 4 different builds we got, I think from going from my least excited to most excited, I think it goes from the haste package just in general. I think it's more of a support helpful thing than its own self going to be crazy. So I'm not crazy about that personally. And then next, sadly enough, it's the burn build. Like I normally like burn builds a lot, but from what I saw for this one, it didn't seem like it had enough burn stuff that I'm really crazy about. Like the fact that one of the items is just blowtorch, which again, I think is just lighter, but with the tool tag is insane. But, you know, maybe I'll be surprised, because what I do like at number 2, my top, the third one, has to be the slow build. And that's only because, I mean, okay, slow build seems kind of insane because a lot of the items, several items that was revealed are ones that slows the whole board, which is gross and annoying. But the thing that I'm really excited for was that payoff card that we did see, which was a burn item that gets scaled for slowing. Like, that's why I like it, because it's a burn item, but, you know, enables from slowing. So that one kind of raises the rank. And then obviously, no surprise, the one I'm most excited for has to be the destruction of the ones we saw. Well, obviously, is the self-destroy package. Seems like it's gonna be so silly, and I'm so excited for it. Especially if it does look like you can cheese by giving it that radiant, making radiant a actual viable tag. That's very cool. I love that. I love that if Stelle can make that happen. I will say one thing I'm a little bit worried about, and we'll have to see through playing the game, is what I was excited for was what I saw in the trailer, which was airplanes. Seeing planes and vehicles like that is what I'm excited for the most, and hopefully, when it comes to its release, we'll get to play that together. We'll have to see. If you're excited like me and want to check out content, hey, I'll be making content for the game. I will also be streaming the game, so go check that out. Subscribe if you want, and hey, I'll see you when Stelle is finally in the bazaar. Once more, thank you to everybody who I have take a look at their videos. Again, check them out. I hope you did watch them while we were going over it, and I hope you're excited like I am to play this new character. I hope it's a good old time, and I'm going to be honest, I can't wait to play more Mac. Mac is going to be insane, I can already tell.